कैंपस हायरिंग इज अ ग्रेट वे टू एक्चुअली बिल्ड फ्रेशर को लेके आते हैं चूज करने का आपके पास कोई हार्ड तरीका नहीं है यू आर गोइंग टू फिगर देम आउट थ्रू टेस्ट्स IQ psychometric analysis and some random projects and because they are a fresher they don't know how to work that's the deal you're going to teach them आप उसको अपना स्टैक सिखा सकते हो आप उसको अपने कोडिंग का तरीका सिखा सकते हो पर उसकी अनलर्निंग कराना इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है पर बहुत कॉस्टली प्रोसेस है इनफैक्ट hiring freshers is a time-consuming, slow, bleeding sort of way because पहले आप फ्रेशर को लेके आते हैं चूज करने का आपके पास कोई हार्ड तरीका नहीं है यू आर गोइंग टू figure them out through tests, IQ, psychometric analysis and some random projects but fact is that they are going to experience you and you are going to experience them when they start working with you. And because they are a fresher, they don't know how to work. That's the deal. You're going to teach them. And teaching them is going to be hard, painful, costly process, especially on time. And that simply means that if you're not able to teach them, if they're not able to learn, it's going to be an absolute waste. If they learn and they leave, it is going to be a bigger waste. But you can only gun for that they will learn and stay. And you need to figure out if you hire 10 people and if 2 of them learn and stay, if that upside looks like an upside, that's the only time when you go for hiring freshers. If you feel that 8 people not working out is going to be catastrophic for you, don't go for freshers. But hiring from campus or hiring freshers in general, my experience and opinion is that there are very few roles where freshers can be really valuable. Roles where you believe that you can teach, roles where you have at least a 6 to 12 month, runway before they can become really productive. But if you have that, hiring freshers and training them is probably the best thing ever because that becomes a cycle through which you start manufacturing talent. Because one of the biggest problems that you only experience after hiring experienced people, and especially जब आप ये 3 से 5 साल वाले experience के लोग hire करते हो across the board, engineers, marketers, sales, ये लोग सिर्फ सीख के नहीं आते हैं ये लोग बहुत कुछ खराब भी सीख के आते हैं every company teaches them the good and the bad and the good and the bad while you are trying to use the good the bad becomes the baggage. In developers it is so hard that if their coding practices were inefficient, bad, poor, it is extremely hard to make that developer unlearn that. आप उसको अपना स्टैक सिखा सकते हो आप उसको अपने कोडिंग का तरीका सिखा सकते हो पर उसकी अनलर्निंग कराना इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है पर बहुत कॉस्टली प्रोसेस है इनफैक्ट डेवलपर का इंटेंट चाहिए बिकॉज दे ऑल्सो हैव टू अग्री फर्स्ट दैट देयर कोडिंग प्रैक्टिस इज इनएफिशिएंट और पुअर एंड इफ दे डोंट बिलीव इट then you are screwed to no end because now they are not going to change their ways anyway and it may not work for you. So freshers are great from that perspective that they don't know what they don't know. There is no unlearning required. There's only learning. So this is a plain canvas, white slate. You can write whatever you want. And they can actually embody your company's DNA from very, very early. When does fresher and campus hiring doesn't work? Freshers को हमारे education system ने बहुत सारे ड्रीम्स दिखाए हैं और उन ड्रीम्स के बेसिस वीक है उनको ये बताया नहीं है कि एक्चुअली कंपनी कैसी होती है काम कैसे होता है इंडस्ट्री से एकेडमिया का रिलेशनशिप ही नहीं है ऑलमोस्ट जीरो है अगर आप देखोगे तो CA, लॉयर, डॉक्टर ये ठीक ठाक ही निकल जाते हैं अगर खराब भी हो तो क्यों? क्योंकि इनका इंडस्ट्री से कनेक्शन बहुत स्ट्रांग है. आप लॉयर बन ही नहीं सकते बिना किसी लॉयर के ऑफिस में कई सालों तक घिसे हुए, बिकॉज इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रोसेस टू डू द लॉ. आई डोंट नो इफ डिग्री pushes you to do that. For example, in CA, articleship is important. So degree pushes you to do that. In medical, all interns. That's why अगर खराब डॉक्टर भी होगा तो डॉक्टर लाइक डॉक्टर तो निकल ही जाता है. मतलब वो क्लिनिक खोल के बेसिक काम तो कर ही सकता है. CA और कुछ करे ना करे रिटर्न फाइल कर ही लेता है, मतलब क्योंकि आर्टिकलशिप में उसको घिस दिया जाता है. एक अच्छा लॉयर जरूर किसी बड़े लॉयर का असिस्टेंट बनता है, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस ही तब हो सकती है. और बाकी हमारे वो BCom, BBA, MBA, इंजीनियर और भी कौन सी डिग्रीज होती है ऐसी वाली, सबका सत्यानाश हो रखा है. बिकॉज कोई तरीका नहीं है उनको एक्चुअली काम करवाने का while the degree is going on. बीटेक वालों ने मान लिया है कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट इज माई बर्थ राइट एंड वी विल हैव इट. बीकॉम वालों ने मान लिया है एम्प्लॉयमेंट वॉज नॉट बिल्ट फॉर अस, वी विल डू MBA. बोथ आर स्टूपिड, बिकॉज बच्चों की इसमें कितनी गलती है या नहीं है, वी विल नॉट गो ऑन दैट टैंजेंट, इट्स फॉर सम अदर डे. बट एजुकेशन सिस्टम ने बेचा तो गलत है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है मुझे. कॉलेज ने डिग्री गलत बेच दी है, that's sure. That's for sure. So the point is that if you are a small startup, if you are an early stage company, and if you are trying to hire from campuses, or if you are hiring absolute freshers from these degrees, there is a very high chance that there is going to be an eventual mismatch in that candidate's life view and your startup's journey. And it has nothing to do with whether your company is big or small. It has nothing to do with whether you are doing great or not. मैंने actually experience किया है कि some candidate after 1 year of working with us, doing fine, nothing stellar, nothing bad, doing absolutely fine, winging through life, suddenly said, "Oh, I want to resign." So क्यों? मेरा ना बचपन से ड्रीम है कि मेरे को साइबर हब में जॉब करनी है. Like which company? There is a company. I said, but ये important नहीं है. Cyber hub में office होना important है. She said, okay, fair. That's okay. But now this is a very poor loss. This candidate was not saying that your office is bad or good. This candidate was also not saying that your company is bad or good or your work is bad or good. This candidate was actually like an absolute stupid loss for us because we invested in them. They worked for a year, could have bloomed, could have done so much well for us and probably for themselves as well in that journey. पर ये हम discover ही नहीं कर पाए, वो candidate भी discover नहीं कर पाया. And before that, they moved on. Now, this mismatch in view of how the life is actually going to cost you more. So freshers, campus hiring, my recommendation is that while you can find relatively cheaper talent in money, but there is a very high chance that retention is going to become difficult and they will not be cheaper on time. They will be actually much more expensive on time. So while hiring freshers, calibrate what exactly is the requirement, where does this match, how does this how will we retain them for next at least 3 years,